Sushi is a dish of Japanese origin. The main component is the rice, which is prepared with vinegar, sugar, and salt. Any variety of ingredients can accompany the sushi rice, such as seafood and vegetables. A popular way to eat sushi is a sushi roll, where a sheet of seaweed is covered with a layer of sushi rice, topped with various seafood and vegetable toppings, and rolled, then sliced. Sushi is often served with green-colored wasabi, strips of pickled ginger, and soy sauce. So let's go ahead and get started working on making our own sushi dinner plate. To begin making the sushi, I'm going to give you a little bit of these cardboard or toilet paper rolls cut into fourths. With some celluclay, I'm going to add a little bit of water slowly at a time so that it can be mixed into a clay. You'll notice that it's fairly dry. There's not a lot of water and it's not very soupy. So I'm going to use that celluclay then to stuff the toilet paper rolls. Once I've done that, I'm going to, I ran out of celluclay. Let me go ahead and make a little bit more. If you need a little bit more, don't be afraid to ask. You want that sushi roll to be nice and full. Now that I've got that full, I need to let that set aside so that it can dry for a few days. Now, let's go ahead and take a moment while that's drying. Let's take a moment and start painting the plate. You're going to get a piece of cardboard or a thick tag board that you can start painting with some paint. As you begin painting, just start thinking, gosh, what color would I use for a plate? It doesn't have to be white. In fact, I'll show you another example where it's not white. Once you've painted your plate, I used a little bit of black and white paint, and I mixed the two together to help it look more like a rectangular plate, kind of like those examples that we saw at the beginning of the video. There, now that I've done that, I'm also going to be using some of my black paint and using that for some branches for some beautiful Japanese flowering trees. You'll notice my paintbrush is nice and skinny, and I'm just using the tip of it and constantly, when the paint runs out, going back to get more. Refill that brush so that you can finish your branches. Once you've done that, go ahead and make some of those flowering, beautiful flowers for your tree. You'll notice that I might be mixing some colors together so that it's not just pink. Maybe a few highlights of white or maybe some highlights of yellow. That might look kind of cool. And then once you're done making your flowering branches, let's set that aside so that it can dry. Great, now that my sushi has dried, I'm going to go ahead and grab some more paint and start making the seaweed outer layer that's holding all of my rice together. I just grabbed some black paint and I started painting my toilet paper roll. There we go. Now I'm going to grab some white paint and just paint the celluclay white so that it reminds you of rice. Some of this rice will get covered with our felt, not a lot of it, but I just thought to myself I really wanted it to be white so that it reminded people of rice. I don't really want it to be gray. Oh my gosh, this is really looking like a Japanese awesome treat. Now, the felt is going to be used for those colored wasabi strips or ginger or soy sauce and maybe some carrots, but these are some of those vegetables that we were talking about and reminds us of the images that we saw at the beginning of the video. So once you've cut up some of your felt pieces, go ahead and glue those on to the top of the rice or to the top of the celluclay. Little dabs of glue will be plenty as you place them on the top of your rice. You'll notice I cut out rectangles, squares, and now triangles. I think that the variety of shapes makes it more interesting to look at and makes me think of different vegetables. There, now that I've done that, I'm just going to place those on my plate with a few pairs of chopsticks. I wanted to show you something that I forgot to add in. When your tag board comes back to you, it might not be flat. It might not be super smooth. So you might just have to unroll it a little bit or curve it until it becomes flat. Again, just place your sushi anywhere you want with some chopsticks off to the side. I love the way this looks. Super fun. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.